Our process for selecting the new labelers was, one, we had ruled out a couple that we already had on site for lack of reliability or service or any number of reasons, or they weren't able to do the different size bottles we were running. The other was to make sure that we could find some with no proprietary parts and that were fairly easy to change over and operate. We actually located Nita on the internet and looked pretty good at what we saw there, so we booked a trip up and went and took a look at them, and we were very impressed with them. So we had already ruled out some that we had bought here. We also looked at some on that trip that we ruled out for numerous reasons. The fact that Nita uses non-proprietary parts was a huge issue for us. We currently have some labelers that have proprietary parts on them, and we've run into issues on lead time with these parts and, more importantly, the cost. And these parts seem to be obsoleted within a year or two of the purchase of these machines, and we've had to either manufacture those parts ourselves or have these companies do that for quite a substantial additional cost. The synchronization on the machine was probably the most attracting to me. We have two different style labelers in here that have tried to do this two different ways. One mechanically with resistance of a pad, which didn't work, and the other was with a photo eye and belts running in two different directions, which didn't work either. And those machines currently have a temporary label there to orient the bottles. With the Nita's synchronization, it is very accurate and as fast as you want to write, as long as, with the label length it does fine, but it also does away with the person having to stand there and orient those bottles. And so the label's applied in the same location on every bottle. One big aspect of it that I recognized as soon as I saw it was the ease of changeover. With everything being scaled and stored in HMI, that's a number one thing. And again, the big thing was the orientation and how accurate and how easy that is to do once it's set up at the factory. It's a simple, maybe a 30-second addition to the changeover. The node movement sensors have been a huge advantage because it has accomplished by doing it through the HMI, and the operators don't have to have any tools to do a changeover. It's a total toolless changeover, and the photo eyes never get touched. So we seem to have longevity in those, that they're not being touched, moved, dropped, or misaligned. So it's been a huge advantage. The operators are much more comfortable just changing numbers in HMI than they are trying to locate a sensor. And plus, we can save that value in the HMI versus having to locate that on the machine. Our production needed to be really more than double what we were currently running, which was around 10 to 12 bottles per minute according to label length. What we were looking at was 40 bottles per minute, 60 bottles per minute, and 90 bottles per minute, and that depends on the label length, or from our standpoint, it depended on the bottle size. 40 being our largest bottles and 90 being our smallest pint bottles. Our production, our operation side has been very satisfied with the machine. Our rates have increased, and their changeover times have decreased greatly, and they are also very comfortable with me and really enjoy running the machines because it's a fairly easy changeover. Yes, I would recommend these Nita labels to anybody.